Straight ahead on CCX News, going on a salt diet. We'll show you steps local cities are taking to keep streets safe, but also keep waterways clean. Plus, body cameras approved, the vote the city of Crystal believes will improve police transparency and accountability. And later, Super Kids Super Sharing, the school event in Plymouth that teaches an important lesson. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. The next time you salt your driveway after a big snowfall, think twice.
Experts say we use too much salt when salting roadways and driveways, and it is polluting our waterways. But the city of Plymouth is taking measurable steps toward reducing salt while still keeping roads clear.
During the winter, the trucks in Plymouth stand loaded with salt and ready to go. These trucks cover hundreds of miles of roads before, during, and after a snowfall.
When it comes out onto the spinner, it's almost like an oatmeal substance, and it'll stick to the road versus scattering and bouncing off all over the place.
Using different methods to keep roads clear is one way the city of Plymouth carefully balances public safety and the need for clear roads with water quality. Since 2010, the city has been working to reduce salt use.
We've had about a 56% reduction in the amount of tonnage that we apply on the streets.
How can they tell? Several ways. First, crews can track salt use through GPS in the trucks. Instead of using straight salt, the city invested in a brine maker so they can quickly make thousands of gallons of brine they need to get through a snowstorm. Salt is stored in a covered, contained area to prevent runoff, and then crews make more passes rather than use more salt to keep roads clear.
We plow the streets a lot more than we have in the past, and then we will salt after that. Now, before the storm, we will also pre-treat to try to help not have as much pack down on the road, so it is easier to plow.
They're sweeping up excess salt as well as storing it properly. There's many things they're doing.
Telly Mamayak with the Minnehaha Creek Watershed District says Plymouth is doing a lot of things right, and cities have a very important role in keeping salt out of waterways.
Cities especially have an immense responsibility at applying proper amounts of salt because of all of the roadways that they're responsible for. When you're talking about just the amount of pavement that they have to deal with, they can make a huge impact in protecting our waters from road salt.
The city will also be getting an award for environmental leadership at an upcoming rock salt symposium in February. And homeowners, you aren't off the hook either. You can shovel regularly to reduce buildup and plus only use a coffee cup's worth of salt to treat a 250 square foot area, which is about the size of 1.5 parking spaces.
Well, Golden Valley is also taking steps to reduce salt and stormwater runoff, and one way it has done so is by reducing the widths of streets during reconstruction projects. In 1995, the city implemented a pavement management program and has reconstructed 105 miles of city streets since. The next project this summer occurs in the northwest part of the city, where most street widths are 29 feet. During reconstruction, the widths will be reduced to 26 feet. And besides reducing runoff, city officials say it helps cut down on construction costs. Special assessments on homeowners will help fund the $5.2 million project, and construction is set to begin in May.
Meanwhile, a Maple Grove lawmaker is co-authoring a bill to lower the amount of salt usage on area roads.
There's been some studies recently about we're putting an enormous amount of salt on our roads, and we need to keep our roads safe, but this is having a deleterious impact on our clean water in our rivers and our local lakes.
Representative Dennis Smith is co-authoring the bill with a lawmaker from Edina. The legislative session begins on February 20th. Smith says other priorities include funding more connections with Highway 610 to ease congestion on I-94 and working on a bill to curb retail theft. Maple Grove is second behind only Bloomington and the Mall of America for the amount of retail in the state.
Well, Crystal will soon join the growing number of cities that require its police officers to wear body cameras. Tuesday night, the Crystal City Council approved the purchase of 16 new police body cameras at a total cost of $25,000. The department launched a pilot program last year that started with 9 cameras. They'll now have 25 cameras, which is enough to equip all police officers, patrol officers that is, and supervisors in the department. Crystal police say the cameras will improve police accountability and transparency and help with gathering evidence.
Our officers are required to actually have the body camera on for every contact that they have. Unless, of course, it's a medical related situation, we do not have to have the cameras on. But any other contact, they're supposed to have their camera activated for evidence purposes.
The public will have one more opportunity to provide feedback on the body cam policy in the coming months. The department plans to have the program fully operational by July 1st.
The Plymouth Planning Commission this week takes a look at plans for a new residential subdivision in the northwest part of the city. 16 homes are proposed for an area east of Vicksburg Lane and north of Canadian Pacific Railroad tracks. The development, called Plymouth Reserve, calls for homes priced at $550,000 on up. The city is also expected to take a look at a different development next month in this same section of the city that calls for another 24 homes. Three Rivers Park planners are taking input on the latest plans for a makeover of the Coon Rapids Dam Regional Park.
That includes a name change to Mississippi Gateway Regional Park to reduce confusion between parks on both sides of the river.
People were attending weddings or trying to attend a wedding on one side of the river, and they would find themselves on the other side of the river, and by the time they navigated and got to the right place, they were missing ceremonies, or they had set up picnic reservations in the wrong park.
But the name change is just the beginning. Plans also call for a nature-based play area that follows the river bluff and an elevated walkway that allows you to get a bird's-eye view of the woods and the river. Input at a community meeting on Tuesday night was mostly positive.
I like the walkways back in the wetlands, so you can see more of the nature, more of the animals. That looks like it'll be a lot of fun.
This is going to bring a lot more people to the area, which it's underused, so that's fine.
Plans will go to the Met Council for review, but new parking lots, trail improvements, and better access to the river will be built soon.
Members of a local youth mentoring program were honored for their contributions to the Osseo School District. The Brooklyn Bridge Alliance for Youth awarded one-to-one mentoring with a championship-style belt for being its 2017 champion for accelerating youth success. One-to-one mentoring connects students from North Hennepin Community College with students from Osseo Public Schools. The goal of the program is to provide support for Osseo students who are struggling in the school environment and help them achieve long-term success.
I guess it's rewarding mostly because of what you can learn from young people. And I don't know anything better than a mentoring relationship, to understand somebody and encourage somebody, but also get to know yourself a little bit better. And I think mentoring brings that out.
This is the first year that the Brooklyn Bridge Alliance for Youth awarded the championship belt, and they plan to make this an annual tradition. Still ahead on CCX News, we meet a standout student from Maranatha Christian Academy in Brooklyn Park.
Plus, the top-ranked Cooper girls basketball team piles up another impressive win. We'll have the highlights later in sports.
But first, how's this for a warm-up? Temperatures approach 40 on Thursday and even warmer weather expected Friday. Welcome back. This week's standout student is artistic, ambitious, and academically successful.
This Maranatha Christian Academy student is also passionate about helping others. Reporter Sonia Goins has more in today's Standout Student.
P1B plus P2B equals P1A plus.
This is one of Miriam Ecoforigi's favorite places to study with her peers.
It's like FT.
The well-rounded student excels in all of her classes.
60 divided by 2.
But she has two favorite subjects.
I really love doing art because it's just a way to express myself, and I love English because it just helps me to be a better communicator. 60 plus 10.
The National Honor Society student doesn't shy away from taking a heavy course load.
High school in itself can kind of be stressful sometimes, but I tried super hard. My mom has always told me face towards your academics.
All the hard work is paying off.
Oh yeah.
Miriam has a 4.2 GPA, and at the end of the school year,
2 objects collide.
She'll graduate with an Associates of Arts degree along with her high school diploma.
I've been taking a wide array of classes, just like my generals. I've taken a couple business classes because I'm actually interested in going into marketing and strategic communications.
To unwind, Miriam turns to art, For years, she's crafted ceramics, and this year, she started dabbling in paints and drawing.
With school in general, it can become really stressful, especially when you're like taking such a large course load. But like with that, you can just kind of just find your peace. This is MV.
Although the high achiever has a lot on her plate, she still finds time to help others.
The biggest thing is just kind of seeing the light in their eyes.
She's participated in mission trips to Mexico, helping out at orphanages since she was a freshman.
In America, we're always like so obsessed with like money and material goods, but it's so good to see people who are so happy who don't have that much. I think that was good.
Armed with a winning personality and academic success, Miriam hopes to do her part to change the world.
If I can bring that joy to people, it's like, what else can I do in this world? Because if you can just help one person, you can help so many others.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Miriam is still deciding on colleges. Her top 3 choices are New York University, Northwestern, and Columbia University. Go get them, Miriam. Still ahead, elementary school students in Plymouth support a super way of giving.
But first, Wayzata tries to knock off Edina in a big girls hockey matchup. Jason Malello is in next with the highlights.
Welcome back. I'm Jason Malello with sports. The Cooper girls basketball team continues to hold the #1 spot in the state in Class 3A rankings. The Hawks look to chalk up another Metro West Conference win on Tuesday. Cooper at home to face Bloomington Jefferson. Asia Wheeler will fake the drive into the lane and then hit the shot. She misses, but Kiera Wheeler is there for the putback for Cooper. Ju Gaston will get the clean steal and then sends it ahead to Wheeler for the layup. She scores 14 points in the game, and the Hawks go up by 5 on this basket. Wheeler sends it to Andrea Tribble, and a great fake frees her for a driving layup. Tribble scores a baker's dozen in the game and a balanced attack. And Wheeler will secure the loose ball coming up here, and then she'll look up court for Tribble as Cooper's speed pays off. They pull away to lead 40-19 at halftime. And then in the second half, it'll be a nice inbounds play as Jada Buford gets the return pass and nails the three-pointer from the corner. It's 47-23. Tribble will then drive for the hoop. 2 more as Cooper wins 70-42. They're at Benilde Friday and face Metro West co-leader Chanhassen next Tuesday. In boys basketball, Brooklyn Center is ranked 6th in Class 2A. They found the going tough, though, against the top-ranked team in Class 3A. The Centaurs hosting De La Salle. Rudwan Tahir gets the Centaurs going early with a dribble drive, and he hits the floater. Then Adrian Sprinkles will draw the defense and kick out nicely to Tahir, and he nails a three-pointer for BC. De La Salle comes back, though, as Tyrell Terry explodes to the hoop and gets the finger roll as the Islanders start to find their groove. The next time down the floor, Terry has all day to line up this three-pointer. You can't do that. He hits for a 32-17 Islanders lead. The Centaurs will try to keep pace. Kentrell Douglas with the rebound and putback, plus the foul. Then Lukai Patterson will get the steal and go all the way for another BC hoop. But the Islanders will keep drumming along. Gabe Kalsher strokes a long ball for DLS. De La Salle is up 31 at halftime, and they go on to win 105-58. In girls hockey, Edina is the second-ranked team in Class AA behind Blake. Those two play each other this Saturday. Tuesday night, the Wayzata Trojans were hoping to catch the Hornets looking ahead to their showdown with the Bears. This one at Braemar Arena, and Edina strikes early. Brooke Tucker with a shot from the point. Elia Lance will knock home the rebound for the Hornets. They're up 1-0 less than 3 minutes into the game. The Trojans do get some good scoring chances, and Edina turnover leads to Wayzata's Emily Wisniewski getting a shot on net. Megan Smith, though, with the save. Then later it'll be Alexa Osseo at the side of the net, and she'll try to jam this puck in before getting knocked down. Same score in the third period, and a nice goal here by Edina's Emily Oden, pulling the puck away from the defender and netting it on the backhand. Senior puts the Hornets up 2-0, and just a minute later they score again as CC Boley to Lolita Fiddler and back to Boley for the goal. Edina scores 4 times in the third period, and they go on to blank the Trojans 5-0. The Armstrong-Cooper girls hockey team won its first 2 games of the season last week. They look to make it 3 in a row on Tuesday night. Elsa Brewstall and the Wings hosting Totino-Grace, and the Eagles get one early as the pass comes to Lauren Schieneman in the slot, and she puts it away less than a minute into the game. And here's one you won't see very often. The Armstrong-Cooper pass to the point is off target with a delayed penalty called against Grace. The Wings' net is empty, and the puck goes all the way in. A crazy goal, and it makes it 2-0 Eagles. The Wings do respond, though, as Caitlin Quinn leads the rush. The puck gets away, but Bryn Anderson puts the shot away before the net is knocked off. It counts, and it's 2-1 Grace. Leah O'Brien throws a bad angle shot on net, and it trickles through for a goal as Armstrong-Cooper ties it up at 2-2. And after a wild first period, second period, Totino-Grace will buzz the net, and the puck eventually gets to Ashley Kelly alone in front for the goal as the Eagles take the lead for good, and they go on to win it 5-3. With a win over St. Michael Albertville on Tuesday, the Wayzata girls basketball team is now 17-0 in the season. On this week's Sports Jam show on CCX, we profile the Trojans' outstanding junior post player, Kallie Theisen. Here's a clip from that story.
At 6'2" and with long arms, Kallie Theisen has the physical attributes for basketball, but Theisen's steady progression goes beyond her natural gifts.
She's a tireless worker, so she just keeps getting better and better and better. She never takes a day off, always works at it, and you know, sometimes it's little things, footwork, ball handling, little tweaks to her form and her shot, stuff like that.
I think I have just really expanded what I'm able to do. I didn't used to be as good as a shooter, so I really expanded that, and then also just being more consistent.
And you can see the rest of that story on this week's Sports Jam show. It airs through Wednesday night at 6:30 and 9:30 p.m. and Thursday morning at 9:30 or anytime on our website, ccxmedia.org. That's all for sports. Shannon and Mike.
All right, thank you, Jason. Up next, elementary students get a big counting lesson and they learn another lesson in the process.
And what they took away from all these donations when we come back. Finally, elementary school students take a page out of the Minnesota Vikings playbook by learning the importance of teamwork.
Students at Kimberly Lane Elementary in Plymouth had a big job today. Count and sort through hundreds of donated items that will be given to children in need. Over the past 2 weeks, the Kimberly Lane students helped collect everything from books and school supplies to games and sports equipment.
We feel that it's really important to give back to the community and to teach the kids that there are other people that are in need besides them, and that's a hard thing for these kids in our community to know. And so we try, every month we try to teach them that. We look at different communities and different people that are in need, but this month we're looking for local children that are in need.
All the donations will stuff a 15-foot U-Haul truck and be delivered to Braemar Field in Edina on Thursday. The donation drive is part of the National Football League's Super Kids Super Sharing event held in conjunction with the Super Bowl. And Mike, we're going to have a lot of local representation there. Last week we saw Fair School Crystal and Northport Elementary practicing to be a part of that, so it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, it should be. Way to go, kids.
Be neat to see. That's all the news we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
And we'll see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4.